guys, welcome to the video today. This is about prompt engineering. A lot of you might not know what prompt engineering is. So prompt engineering is basically you are using artificial intelligence such as ChatGPT, and the information you input into the artificial intelligence is considered a prompt, and this is prompt engineering. Use ChatGPT for example. What is ChatGPT? ChatGPT is artificial intelligence that uses machine learning and algorithms to give you a text response back. And the better your prompt is, the better you craft your prompt, the more relevant information, the more strategic you are with your prompt, probably the better information you're going to get out of the artificial intelligence. So the more information your artificial intelligence has, the better information it can give you back. So I will discuss different types of prompt engineering today. I'll discuss different types of prompt. I will discuss how you can get the best information back. And if those of you not familiar with my channel, I am trying to make this more about prompt engineering and artificial intelligence as my channel grows. But if you look at my past videos, I do have a lot of videos on degree hacking. If any of you are watching this and have seen this video for the first time, like any of my videos for the first time, if you're interested in a college degree in a year and a half or less from a fully accredited nonprofit university, I do show how to hack the college system and get a degree in like a year or less. So if you're interested in that, check out my other videos. But I will be trying to make this channel more about AI and tech, etc. going forward. And like I said, let's talk about prompt engineering. I'm going to get into the different types of prompts and show you guys how you can get the most useful and beneficial information from the artificial intelligence and make your life a little easier. So I'll start off with exploratory prompts. So what is an exploratory prompt? This is more of an open-ended question or a statement that are crafted to get a wide range of responses from the artificial intelligence. So these prompts are intentionally broad to maximize the creative or intellectual output from the artificial intelligence. So you want the AI to be creative in its response and think a little harder with its response. So open-endedness, unlike direct questions that seek specific answers, exploratory prompts are designed to explore possibilities. It wants the AI to, be a little creative in its assessment and come up with a wider range of possibilities. You don't want it to be too direct. Like you're not searching for an extremely direct answer. It also encourages depth. Like it wants the AI to, explore depth more. Like I said, not be a very direct answer where you're just looking for a specific set of information. It's almost like crafting a story in a way. You want the AI to be, search a little deeper, come up with some creativity. Like this would not be the same answer you get from, a very simple question, right? Like you want this answer to be different than any other prompt that somebody's going to ask it. You want a very unique set of circumstances, a very unique answer. An answer with like personality possibly, right? Creatively stimulating type of engagement. And yeah, ChatGPT could create a creative answer. It could even create like a book that's creative, honestly. It still probably needs a lot of work regarding that. But if you wanted to be very strategic with your prompts where you're looking for a creative chapter every single time, it can give that to you. ChatGPT can, or almost like any kind of AI can give you that. They can give you some kind of chapter for like a creative book or basically anything. You just have to come up with the right prompt. So we're going to come up with some examples of exploratory prompts here, which I have written down. Some of these examples would be, okay, what are potential future applications of blockchain technology that are not finance? That is an example of an exploratory prompt. Another would be explore the impacts of remote work on global urban planning trends. So that would be more like, you're not searching for one direct answer. You're asking for examples. You're asking for an exploratory kind of view on things, a very broad view. You're leaving it up to ChatGPT. You're leaving it up to the AI to give you its view. It's not going to be a one concise type of answer. Another thing might be what might. So the word might will definitely be used in these type of prompts a lot. So what might be the consequences of long-term space travel on human societies? That's actually a really fun question. That's probably a question I would ask an AI just for the heck of it. So I'll read that question again. What might be consequences of long-term space travel on human societies? And you might want to expand on that answer even more. Like if you want to make this a full paragraph and go into really detail, ChatGPT will come up with a very, very useful and somewhat opinion-based and somewhat fact-based information regarding this. It'll be creative. This question is searching for a creative answer, and you're definitely going to get a creative, unique answer from it. How could you not get a creative answer from that type of question? Another example would be generate several novel marketing strategies for an eco-friendly consumer product. So when you're asking ChatGPT to develop strategies, especially marketing strategies, but any kind of strategies, it's going to give you a plan. And this is going to be, like I said, ChatGPT is giving you an exploratory kind of thing where you're asking for a strategy. There is no like right answer. So that's exploratory prompt. You're not searching for like a completely direct correct answer. Like there is no correct answer. You're looking for the best information possible on what you're asking it. There is no like right or wrong answer most of the time. Next prompt we're going to go over is instructional prompts. So an instructional prompt is you're asking ChatGPT or any AI for that matter a kind of set of directions, kind of a guide on how to do something. Coming up with an example for this would basically be, hey, ChatGPT, give me a step-by-step process to integrate a payment method on my website. Or, hey, explain the detailed steps involved in conducting an A/B test for a new product feature. Or, provide a comprehensive guide on how to replace my smartphone screen. And I'll give you one more example. Outline the process for preparing and filing a tax return in the United States of America. So all of those are instructional prompts. You're asking for like a step-by-step guide on how to do something. And it will give you a full process, a full list on the step-by-step instructions. It might be a little broad or it might be a little specific depending on how much information you gave it. If you really want specific information, you would make your prompts a lot longer than the sentence I just provided. So that is another type of prompt, instructional prompt. Basically, if you want to be effective with your instructional prompts, you want to detail your needs, like way more than the sentence I just described, right? Like you want to be very detailed, make it at least several sentences and really describe the information that you need. Use action verbs, break down complex tasks, request examples from ChatGPT, which is a very, very useful thing. I would definitely put that in there, request examples, and just ask ChatGPT. One thing I like about ChatGPT, one thing I like to do, I should say actually, one thing I like to do with ChatGPT is, hey, be detailed. Tell ChatGPT to be detailed, and that alone is very useful. So obviously you want to be very specific. You want to put as much detail as possible, but also ask for detailed information, because sometimes ChatGPT will not give you the super detailed information you want, even if you craft a great prompt. Just putting that sentence of like, I need detailed, like use that word, it does give you a lot better results sometimes. So I would highly recommend putting that word in there. This is great for like how to do stuff. This is great for educational environments where you need educational content and tutorials. Like ChatGPT really can create courses, and like if you just ask, like there's only so much text ChatGPT can give you, but if you ask for like a chapter or a module at a time and ask ChatGPT to be super detailed, you can create entire courses, entire how-to guides. Like artificial intelligence is extremely powerful, guys. So just don't overpower it in one sitting. But if you do module at a time, lesson at a time, or like if you're creating a bunch of how-to guides, just don't do it all at one sitting. You can absolutely get a lot of information, a lot of how-to guides, a lot of step-by-step stuff from ChatGPT. Another style of prompt is going to be probably one you use probably the least, but this is a conversational type of prompt. So What do I mean by conversational type of prompt is you are searching for the AI to give you a kind of human-like response, and you're kind of having like a conversation with it. This can be useful in some type of things, but for the most part, if you're using ChatGPT from a useful perspective, you're not going to use this as much, but it does have its uses. So conversational prompting, you want your prompts to be phrased. Let's say, I'll give you an example. Examples of conversation prompts would be, hey, we're going to go with something very simple. What do you think the latest trends in AI technology are? So with a conversational prompt, you're engaging in conversation with the AI, and you're asking for the AI to basically respond to you like as a human in a way. Like it's going to converse with you and it's going to give you an opinion. It's not going to give you a fact. It's not going to give you a statement. It's not going to explain something to you. It's going to talk to you like a normal conversation. So you can ask how its day is going. It's going to give you a response, and then you build on that. Like, hey, whatever it says, like how the day is going, you build on that, and you keep the conversation going, and you go into it deeper and deeper. And it is very capable of building with you. It is very capable of having the conversation with you. You just got to be specific. You kind of have to guide the conversation, but you would be surprised how much you can have a conversation with an AI. It just depends what your use case is for this, or if you're just messing around, or what it is. But another example of a conversational prompt that can be useful is, hey, can you tell me more about your experience with online learning platforms? And if you wanted information on this, you can use a different style of prompt, but it also works in a conversational prompt setting as well. So, and in a conversational prompt setting, you're going to get a little more of an opinion than a fact-based answer. So if you want more of an opinion-based answer, you would use this type of prompting. So, because sometimes you don't always want facts, you don't always want the concrete way. You want like more of an opinion thing. You want more of a more of a real life answer. Another example would be, okay, what are some tips you would give to someone starting their own business? Okay, so that will give you an opinion. It'll give you a conversation style prompt, and it's like the AI is talking to you as a mentor. So it's like if you want that mentor vibe, it can definitely give you that mentor vibe. And some people like that. Like I said, it all depends what you're searching for. It all depends what kind of answer you want. But if you want that kind of mentor approach, it can give you that. It can give you any style of answer you want. Another example would be, how do you think technology can help with mental health? And it will give you a conversation style answer and an opinion. So how can you effectively use conversational prompts with ChatGPT? You start with openers, what's on your mind today? What have you learned recently? Use follow-up questions. Mirror language and tone, Adapt the prompt's language to the tone that matches the previous response, which can help maintain consistent and comfortable dialogue. And it just varies by type of reaction. You can include a mix of different interaction types in the conversation, such as asking for opinions, facts, personal experiences. Just be specific in what you want, and specific in where you want the conversation to go. So, what are the benefits of conversational prompts in practical applications? Customer service. So this is where the uses come in, guys. A lot of times where you're talking to customer service, before you actually get a customer service rep, those are AI. Okay, especially on those websites where you ask for a live representative, like you click live chat, and what you're going to get initially is an AI talking to you. And that's where one of the use cases comes in with conversational prompts. So customer service. Another one would be coaching settings or therapeutic settings. Another one would be education. You're asking for relevant information, but you want like you're talking to a person, and the company might want you to think you're talking to a person, right? So, and then just the biggest use case for this is probably entertainment. You want to talk to an AI for entertainment purposes. So that is conversational prompting, and let's get on to the next one. Next one, guys, is creative prompts. So what are creative prompts? This is my favorite style of prompting, to be honest. I like making fiction with ChatGPT. I like making educational stuff with a fiction aspect to it. Uh, I love just putting like a creative spin on everything. I love putting a uniqueness on everything. I think you could create like, of course, it still has to be from your own mind, but if you need some help or assistance, like ChatGPT can help you come up with the information. It can help you come up with the idea, etc., etc. Like if you're creating a fiction book, if you're creating a, some kind of like science fiction book or a fantasy book, ChatGPT can help you write chapters. You have to give it extremely specific information. Like creative prompts require the most specific information more so than any other prompting style. I would highly suggest writing like at least a paragraph, 2 paragraphs, like very specific. So it's going to digest that and it's going to give you the most uh, creative answer it can give you depending on how much creativeness you want, how much information you give it. So I'll give you some examples, but it's this is my favorite style of prompting. Like it's the best style. It's the best prompting style for like content creation, even educational content creation, but especially like any kind of like fiction content creation. Whether you're writing books, fiction books, kids books, you can do coloring books with ChatGPT. There's just so many things you can do, and it can give you like a very fictional answer. You can create whole fantasy worlds with this type of prompt. So examples of creative prompts would be, okay, write a short story where classical composers are time travelers visiting the modern world. Let me repeat that. I would enter this into ChatGPT. Write a short story where classical composers are time travelers visiting the modern world. So that is an example of a creative prompt, and that's just one sentence. You can go 2 paragraphs long of just totally, like relevant and specific information and asking it to be more and more creative with each sentence. So imagine if it had two paragraphs of all these creative sentences, and you can get like a whole story back, really. Another example would be, hey, describe a futuristic city where nature and technology are integrated. So, ChatGPT might give you an answer back where it has robotic trees, or, I'm just coming up with this off the top of my head on this one. Like robotic trees, maybe it has a air train that goes through buildings and stuff. Like I've seen ideas of that, to be honest. So there's a lot of relevant information you'll get from that, and the answers are usually pretty fun, pretty unique, and you'd be surprised what artificial intelligence can tell you. You'd be really surprised what artificial intelligence can come up with. Another example would be, hey, and this is a really fun one. So this is technically not a conversational prompt because you're not the one talking to the AI, but it's kind of like a conversational prompt because it is dialogue. So this would be great for like a movie script or, any kind, also a book. You're asking 2 characters to talk to each other. So create a dialogue between 2 historical figures who never met but would have an interesting conversation. That's really cool. That'd be a really fun idea. And like I said, be more specific. Enter the 2 characters you want. I can't think of 2 characters off the top of my head, but just any 2 historical figures you can think of and ask them to have a conversation with each other. And then you can keep the conversation going. Like as ChatGPT is done with the answer, you type in, you follow up with more information, like you keep the conversation going. So like I said, you'd be really surprised what artificial intelligence can do. Another example would be invent a new sport. This one's really fun. Invent a new sport that could be played on Mars and describe its rules and its gameplay. So I'll repeat. Invent a new sport that could be played on Mars that would describe its rules and its gameplay. So that's a pretty cool question to ask. It's a really cool creative prompt. One of the reasons I love creative prompts is not only can you make content creation from it that is very beneficial, but you can also it's fun. You can come up with a lot of fun stuff. So if you just want a time killer, you can create a lot of fun stuff here. You know, a lot of fun fictional ideas from artificial intelligence. So that is creative prompting. The biggest uses here are content creation, number one. Number two would be entertainment. Number three would just be probably educational setting. And number four would be art and design. AI can come up with pictures. I'm not sure ChatGPT is the greatest at it, but there is other artificial intelligence that can give you AI pictures. I'm sure you guys have seen AI pictures all over the internet. They're still not the greatest, but it's improving all the time. There will be at some point, probably over the next decade or two, where you can't even tell the difference between an AI picture and a non-AI picture, which is kind of scary to think about in a way, but it's also really fun and fascinating to think like how far AI is going to go and where you just can't even tell the difference. But yeah, that is creative prompts. It is probably my favorite style of prompting. Over the last one very briefly here, because I didn't realize that this video is already over 20 minutes long, and I don't want you guys to have to sit through close to a 30-minute video. So the original plan for this video was under 20 minutes, but you know how things go. So the last one I'll touch briefly, it is testing prompts, and this is you're testing the artificial intelligence capabilities. I do like this prompting style as well. Examples of testing prompts would be, hey, explain the theory of relativity to an 8-year-old. I actually use this pretty frequently. I like describe this for an 8-year-old on a lot of my prompts. It's not that I think my viewers or my readers are 8 years old, but it's the best way to simplify complex information. Because if you ask ChatGPT or artificial intelligence to like, hey, simplify this for the reader, it's usually not enough. Like, if I really want it to explain a very complex manner, a complex operation to somebody who has no knowledge in the subject, using this phrase is the best. Like, hey, explain gravity to someone who's 8. It still comes up with a pretty smart answer. Like, you will not feel like it's for an 8-year-old, but anybody can understand it. So I really do like that style of question. And I usually do put that in a lot of, especially for content creation, I will put that in there. Another one would be, okay, what would happen if gravity was suddenly twice as strong? So this kind of goes under the creative prompting as well. You can put it in either category, but this will test the artificial intelligence capabilities. Like it'll test the artificial intelligence math capabilities. It will test the artificial intelligence, intelligence capabilities, and you're also going to test its creative capabilities. So you're going to test it in like every kind of subject. It's really a fascinating question to ask because, like I said, you're testing the AI's creativity, you're testing its math, you're testing its like everything. So it's a very interesting question. I'll go more into testing prompts in the future. You're not going to use testing prompts very often because you're not going to test the artificial intelligence. You're not going to have much of a use case for testing the artificial intelligence. And for content creation, for saying like, hey, make this so an 8-year-old can understand it, that goes in other style of prompts as well. Like if you're creating content, it can go in the other prompts I mentioned as well. So, but that's it for today, guys. I hope you understand prompt engineering a little better than you did before watching this video. Like I said, I do want my channel to go into more prompt engineering type of stuff, more artificial intelligence type of stuff, because it really does intrigue me and fascinate me. We'll see how it goes, but I really do want to, put my channel more to that, as I have covered a lot of degree hacking, and I will always cover degree hacking to a certain magnitude. I will not stop talking about degree hacking entirely, but like I said, I will be moving on to more tech stuff, more artificial intelligence stuff that interests me and could provide use to you as well. Because prompt engineering is probably, in my opinion, the most useful thing out there right now. I think ChatGPT and prompt engineering, like a lot of people don't know how useful it actually is. You can create tons of content, you can create products, it's extremely useful. And not just from a useful perspective, but just from the science perspective of it too. like the more technical side. Like I want to talk about artificial intelligence from a technical standpoint and how it all works, machine learning, deep learning. I want to talk about from a useful perspective in future videos, how it can help you. And I want to talk about it from a technical perspective, from a science perspective as well. So you'll get a lot of videos of both. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If this is the first video you've seen of me, please like and subscribe if I helped you in any way. How the YouTube algorithm works is if you like, subscribe, or comment, or preferably all three, but if you do any one of those three actions, it will push the video to a new person on their homepage, and a new person will discover me. And I would greatly appreciate that. So thank you guys so much. I always appreciate you tuning in. I've been on this channel for about, I want to say, a good 8 or 9 months now, and we've grown a decent amount, and I want to grow the channel even further. Thank you for being along for the ride, and I hope you watch many more videos. Thank you so much, guys.